I always wondered when these guys were filling out like band forms or when people were asking them what their name was it kind of like when people were asking email addresses way back in the day and it was like, I am the morning, all one word. The Bell by Iamthemorning. So, Iamthemorning is a Russian duo. It's comprised of Kleb Kolidian. I can never pronounce that. He plays the grand piano and keyboards, as well as Marjana or Mariana Semkina. Semkina. There we go. She does the vocals, backing vocals. The duo are so great at providing haunting atmosphere. Her voice of Mariana's is just so haunting, is the best way to put it. It's very soft, it's very inviting, but at the same time, it's chilling. And Gleb's work on the piano is practically next to none. Like, they do have other individuals coming in providing some drums, a little bit of electrical guitars, some harps at times, but for the most part, it's just the two of them. And their last album of Lighthouse was good. I really enjoyed it. It didn't really pique my interest as much. Like, there wasn't any particular moment on it that I found was particularly amazing. Just the overall presentation was quite nice, and it was something that I would put on during like an overcast rainy day. That's the type of music that I would love. And we're finding the same kind of thing here, except there are 3 songs on this album that I particularly gush about and I want to talk about. The first one is the first song of Freak Show. It sets the tone perfectly by being very airy and very inviting with Mariana's singing styles kind of ushering us in, but we're also introduced to a large group of other instruments that are coming in. We hear the harp, we hear the strings, we have a little bit of like a synthesized drum work that's going on here as well. So it's almost like you're walking through a haunted house where you know that there's something that's in the background, but nothing ever really jumps out. There's always just this creepy atmosphere that's really kind of coming throughout the entire track. Until we get to like that midpoint where something does kind of jump out and we have such a prominent lead guitar work and drum styles that's almost like a 180 from what we've heard from Iamthemorning before. It's so brash and bold for these guys to utilize this kind of a technique when they're usually so subdued and subtle. Very interesting way of opening up the album in that it's almost like taking what we're used to and turning it right on its head. And this is left throughout the entirety of the track at that point. It feels very much like Steven Wilson, especially some of his more solo stuff within Insurgents or even, say, Grace for Drowning. Very dark, very menacing, very subtle as well. Like, there's lots of things going on in the shadows. The other one is probably the mid-track. I think it's the mid-track. Yeah, it's definitely the mid-track of Ghost of a Story. This track is beautiful. It is brilliant. I cannot gush more about this track. The rhythm style that Gleb is able to capture on the keyboards and the piano is amazing. Like, it's so rhythmic, it's so soothing. It does feel like you're kind of drifting on the waves in that sense, and how this song really opens up and blossoms. It's one of the shorter tracks at just under 4 minutes long. What it's able to do in such a short period of time is quite beautiful. I love how it builds up within using that main theme from the beginning of the track and really playing with it and really kind of exploring the soundscapes of this particular piece. It reminds me of like walking through a winter landscape and just seeing when you stop and you look at like individual snowflakes as it drifts down and how they dance. It's kind of utilizing those smaller moments that I can't help but love. And the final one, my favorite track off the entire album, is Salute, the second last track and the longest. This track really blew me away. It really takes its time to develop and grow in providing so much atmosphere at the beginning points of the track and then really bringing it out and really growing it. It gets to the point where we get into the instrumental piece at the end where it begins to build and it continues to build. And I don't know what they're using. At first I thought it was an electric guitar to use a lot of those sounds and a lot of those soundscapes, but there's something else that's going on around it that I can't quite put my finger on. And the sounds that they're able to bring about without utilizing and relying on so much synthesizers or processed music, it's very like tangible. So the three songs that I really mentioned, those are the standout. The rest are a little bit of a rinse and repeat, but I feel like we needed those to kind of get us through to those touchstones, because the three best songs, the opening track, the mid track, and the end track, because we have those touchstones throughout the album, we can enjoy the journey for some of the smaller moments. And because of that, some of those smaller moments really bring us through. Within Blue Sea, the third track, we can really appreciate Mariana's acoustic guitar work. Like, this one definitely feels much more like something that I would hear at a bar, with just her, the guitar, and then Gleb kind of to the side with providing the keyboards on there. Really, really well done. And because it's not such an explosion, it does kind of bring us into more, like, deeper into the album. And same with Song of Psyche. I think it's Psyche. It might be Psych. Again, very intimate, very singer-songwriter. It just gives us a little bit of breather between Ghost of a Story. And then Lilies. Lilies is a really powerful song in terms of, like, the guitar, or I keep wanting to say guitar work. It's the piano work. Just like really quickly, like Gleb just almost dancing on the keyboards in that sense. So yeah, overall, this album was a fantastic time. This is one that I've definitely been coming back to. It's a perfect fall album. It's a great autumn album. As the days are getting shorter and nights coming in, this is a great one to kind of usher us through to a pleasant evening. Yeah, this one is definitely a download. This is one that I particularly love. I think it's their strongest work up to this point. Those three tracks I'll continuously come back to, and it's one that I want more from. And that's it for The Bell by Iamthemorning. What did you guys think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Have a listen to it, and then once you have, let me know by commenting down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you guys are definitely the best. And until next time, notes out.